Here we are again. We're back with my dough from the previous video with another jumper. No, I'm not advertising them. I just like them. And what we've got here is a perfectly proved bowl of dough. Now, I know this is something some people struggle with, so I wanted to have a chat about this before we do anything else with it. So this dough is perfect time to move on with it. How do I know that? Because of how much it fills the bowl and because of the slightly upwardly domed surface, virtually smooth. And many people think that if you've got this bubbly dough, that actually that's how it should look, and it shouldn't. If you've got a really bubbly surface on your dough at this point, it's telling you either the dough is too wet because it had too much water in, or it's overproved. So the odd little bubble, fine, depending on what kind of flour you've used, but ideally you want just a smoothish, maybe slightly undulating surface, upwardly domed like I said, and that's all it needs to be. So this is telling me this is perfectly proved. Also the size. So I want my dough to grow by 2 or 2.5 times overnight. That's the size I want it to get to know it's perfectly proved. If you struggle to measure that, you could take a photo of your dough and you leave it to prove and have a comparison, or you can do what I do. Keep it simple, really, really simple. Use a good bowl. So I know with this bowl that when my dough reaches this level with the lip, it's fully, perfectly proved. It's grown perfectly for what I want. And this was purely by accident when I started using these bowls. Because the other beautiful thing with them is they have lines engraved in them, so I know if I'm going to make one of my baby loaves with a smaller dough, I want it to prove up into the line there. Full size dough, I want it to come up to there. So the bowl is really, really useful. I will put a link or a tag so that you know where I got mine from. But if you don't have a similar sized bowl to me, and this is 23 centimetres in diameter, 9 centimetres deep, you need to keep in mind if your bowl is much bigger, your dough is going to look smaller. So don't wait until it fills the bowl because it will be overproving. So use the bowl to your benefit. So when it comes to proving dough, temperature is always the key, and this is why I talk about it so often. This is why I have thermometers all over my kitchen. So if it's been cold overnight, which it has been recently because it's been winter where I am, your dough may not have grown as much as you want it to when you wake up in the morning, in which case you need to leave it for longer. If it's been really warm and it's filling the bowl and it's bubbly and it's sticky and it's hard to handle, it's overproving because it's been warmer overnight. So there's easy ways, I promise you there's really easy ways to manage this. And something that I have focused on a lot in my new book is explaining the proving process, and you will find an explanation of underproving, an explanation of overproving. You will find photos. I had to force myself and push myself to overprove some dough, especially to be able to show this, and you'll see in the photos in the book how sticky and unmanageable it was. So I'm hoping that you will be able to benefit from what I went through to show you what the dough is like. So to catch your dough at an ideal time, this is what we want. Something with structure. You can see, you might be able to see all the bubbles from the bottom, which is the work our starter has done. So typically for me, I want my dough to sit for 8 to 10 hours overnight at temperatures between 18 and 20 degrees centigrade. If it's been lower than that, I leave it for longer. If it's going to be warmer than that, then I know I need to make changes. And these are things that you will see throughout my posts, on my website, in my book, lots of help. So this time of year, you can give it a boost, make it grow faster, and it's all coming, I promise. So this is about proving the dough. If you have any questions, please do put them in the comments, do ask me. And I will be back very soon with another video showing the next step and about shaping your dough to put it into your banneton. But for now, from me and my very beautiful happy dough, we will say goodbye. Here we are again with my dough, and what I'm going to do now is prepare my dough for it to go into the banneton. I've had a lot of questions about this. A lot of people have struggled with the shaping of the dough. This is how I do it. I don't turn my dough out. I don't cover my kitchen with flour. I do it all in the bowl. So it's really tidy and simple. I've got my banneton. I've got rice flour. There's rice flour already in the banneton. Just going to add an extra little bit. And the beauty of these Roquefort bannetons is the dough will slide out really easily. So don't be nervous at this point of how you handle the dough. You need to build some tension into it. If you are really gentle with it because you think you're going to ruin it, you will end up with a dough that will spread as soon as you turn it out. You are not going to ruin your dough by being firmer. If you have got a beautiful, well-formed dough like this one, it really doesn't matter what you do to it. It will bounce back, it will grow up beautifully. So don't be too gentle. Don't worry about what you're doing to it. What we want is a nice firm ball. This is a good strong dough. You won't be able to crush it even if you tried, because you'll feel there's life in there. So all I want to do is exactly the same again. The same motion of lifting and pulling. I'm going to pull it right across, and you probably can't hear this, but I can hear the bubbles inside it. Right across. You want it right across the bowl, not just like this. We want it right across. So up and across, exactly the same motion again. So you're tucking it all the way over. And don't be worrying about, what about those bubbles? They're fine, they're still there. It's all still there. So we're going to keep going until a point where you think, okay, that feels like a nice ball. Now I can turn that out. And there is our very beautiful ball of dough. Into the banneton. Add a bit of extra rice flour in the edges if you want. Hat back on. And into the fridge. And this now goes into the fridge to prove again as much in the cold to firm it up, to develop flavour, and to make it easier when you turn it out to bake it later. So I've got another dough in front of me, so I'm going to show you again. Here we go. Another beautiful bowl of dough. Made, once again, using my master recipe, Cotswold flour with Churchill's flour. Let's make sure you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so we're going to do exactly the same thing again. Pick it up, and I've got this much. This is how much I'm holding. Not a big handful, not a little one, just like that. So up and across. Up and across. So you're, I can hear it, I can smell it as soon as I handle it. It's just beautiful. Up and over. Up and over. So just sometimes once around the bowl does it, sometimes 1.5, sometimes twice. Just bring it up and over. Look, it's cleaning the bowl as it goes until you think, okay, I can't do any more than that. It's not going to let me do any more. Let's take it out. And there's our beautiful ball of dough. You can already see the blisters and dimples in it. And all that power that you built into the dough from all of your work and the work of your starter is all there. You haven't ruined it, but you need that tension. If you don't give it that tension at this point, when you turn it out, it's going to spread and be impossible for you to score it. Bit of rice flour again. Hat back on and into the fridge. And I hope this has been helpful. If you've got any questions at all, ask me. Details about the bowls, the bannetons, everything is in my post, and also where I got my jumper. Happy baking.